Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This is my top 10 stocks as we head into Tuesday, September 12th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown. So if you're someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. Real quick, couple of clarifications. Number one, the candlestick that you see right there will be moving around. That is because the market's still open for a small amount of time. But I like to do these videos when the market is still open because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day price movement. And then second, I'll be using the 30-minute time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks here represents 30 minutes worth of time. So stock number one here, CGC, the monster move continues. Pretty crazy to think that not that long ago this thing was down here, we're in the 40-cent range, and now this thing is pushing up over and has been up over the $1.70 mark today. So more of the story, a lot of eyeballs continuing to watch this one. So let's get some updates made. I'm going to go ahead and adjust this area of support up to a more relevant area. So yes, 83 cents. It does still pertain to the chart, just not relevant right now. So in the spirit of not wanting to create confusion because there's lines and clutter everywhere, we'll try to keep the amount of lines as limited as possible. One of the newest areas of support for those of you that like to play pullbacks, right there at that $1.40 mark, which is an ideal level. Ideal meaning if say, Clay, what would make this chart look the absolute strongest going forward? Well, yeah, ideally if the price can stay up above $1.40, that would be fantastic. But from the big picture of things, as long as the price remains above that purple line, the 50-period moving average, then everything is fine. Now, I understand the purple line is way down there, but keyword there being moving average. So as time goes by, that line is going to move itself higher and higher and get more and more relevant as time goes by. So you can kind of just picture that as an overall trend line that's drawing itself for you. And as long as the price is above the overall uptrending trend line, well, then by definition, the price is in an overall uptrend. So keep an eye on those couple of areas of support. And then in terms of areas of resistance, nothing fancy or complicated here. Just a question of, well, where did the party finally stop today? And that was right up here at that level of $1.80. So $1.80 going to be the public enemy number one moving forward. Again, nothing fancy within that logic other than the fact of just asking the question, where did the party finally stop? And again, right up there at $1.80. But overall, the monster move continues. Next one, PLTR. Nice move today. Talked about this one last week and how that area right there was an area of resistance, but this is where a foundational rule in charting comes into play, which played out perfectly. When levels of resistance are broken and closed above, you want to see them act as support, and that is, like I said, exactly what happened this morning. Price gapped up, small little pullback, found some support right at that former area of resistance, and then made the nice move upwards, and has now since consolidated out here a little bit and created a new pattern. So let's get that into play here and mapped out. So the new level, or at least as far as I'm concerned, the area that a lot of people got to think are probably watching is that trend line right there. Let me make a little adjustment. There we go. And then as far as the area of support is concerned, down here right at the bottom part of that little consolidation, down here a little bit more. So let me change that, then represent the support. And then to make this easier to see, let's just take it into one color. So we have our resistance, we have our support. You have the nice upwards move here. For you golfers out there trying to make it even more visual, put the golf hole down here. And this would be known as a bull pennant pattern. So while nothing is guaranteed, is it valid? Is it plausible to think that if the price curls back up, gets to that area, and then breaks through, that break in and of itself could create additional buying pressure? That is certainly a plausible outcome. So if you like bull pennant patterns, then certainly keep an eye on PLTR. Next one here, ACB, a blast from the past. I mean, this one used to be so popular, and maybe it's getting ready to get popular again as it had a very impressive move today. Looking down there at the volume, just gigantic volume compared to what it's routinely been getting. So we'll see if this is indeed the start of something even bigger, but got to think a lot of eyeballs are watching it. So let's map out some of these key levels. First key area from a support standpoint, right down there, bottom part of that consolidation at the 76-cent mark. So change that to represent the support. And then as far as areas of resistance are concerned, again, same logic as before. Well, where did the party and momentum finally stop in this one? Right up here at that 94-cent mark. There's going to be some pattern players out there, and I realize not everybody might draw this one, but there's probably going to be, and I'll draw this very crudely, but they're going to be sitting here drawing something similar to that, and then, they'll be having themselves, now whether or not they draw the golf hole, who knows on that one. But a lot of people you got to think are going to be watching that bull pennant pattern. And, as I speak right now, you can see that candle is actually approaching to potentially maybe even give an attempt at this bull pennant pattern. Market still got 12 minutes before it closes, so maybe it can push up through this pattern. You'll have the answer to that by the time you watch this because the market will be closed, and you'll be able to see if it broke through that pennant or not. So if it has broken through the pennant, the next question you want to ask yourself is, okay, well, where's the price at relative to 94 cents? And if somehow the price is up above 94 cents, that's just telling you that the bulls got that much stronger. Next one, SLE, which is a very ugly looking chart, but for you longer time viewers out there, you know what I'm going to say next, but there can be opportunity in the ugly. And the opportunity in my mind revolves around the fact that the price, showed a bunch of strength, big movement right there. And then after that, basically pulled back. And then late day, just essentially straight down, one red candle after another. But with all that being said, the price is now approaching some moving averages that make you go, huh? And does that mean that, granted, they're very popular moving averages, the purple line being the 50-period moving average, pink line being the 200-period moving average. So does that guarantee a bounce? It doesn't, but it makes it very plausible, even if you just want to call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, where people are like, hey, look, it's pulled back. Oh, look, it's at these very key moving averages, which could provide support. Okay, I'm going to buy. And then that in and of itself is what creates the bounce. Once again, to reiterate, I'm not saying that's what's going to happen, but it's by no means some sort of random thought process to think that way. So in my mind, the area that's interesting right down here at $2.65. And from a risk-reward scenario, now that, of course, assumes that you're going to be able to be disciplined, honor the risk and stop losses. But, if the price comes down here and then keeps crashing, okay, fine. You take this small controlled loss. But if the price comes down here and gets some sort of bounce, well, then relative to what was being risked, you could be looking at some good, solid upside potential. So if you like to play these sorts of situations where things are looking really ugly, but sometimes those really, really ugly moments are all of a sudden where things get turned around, then keep an eye on it. Next one here, AMC, and maybe, just maybe, we finally have some life here. So this trend line here that I've been tracking, you can see price has actually broken through it. Right there, give or take. So that level has been accomplished, and I'm going to go ahead and get rid of these areas here now, because at this point, what makes this interesting is what's going on here with the latter part of the day. Right now, you can see nice green candles, and the price is getting a nice move upwards. Now, of course, there's a lot more work that needs to be done, but it does bring about a more than valid question now, namely because the price has seemingly started to go sideways here at the 705 mark. I say seemingly because there's no guarantees, and I wish I could say trending was this easy. I wish I could say that after a stock's gotten beat down quite a bit and then it starts to go sideways, that means for sure guaranteed a bottom. Can't quite say that. My point here is that it becomes a lot more plausible to say that, okay, maybe, just maybe, the bottom is finally in, especially when you have the sideways action combined with this little slight upwards movement here. So, and that's what a watch list is all about, to find unique, to find interesting situations, and not randomly rush out and start buying stuff, but to watch it. So if you think this is an interesting scenario where you can say, okay, it's gone sideways, it's starting to go up a little bit, so maybe, just maybe, this is the start of a bigger move. If you find those sorts of situations interesting, then definitely keep an eye on it. Real quick, want to take a break and personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online class that I'm offering later on in the week. So if you've been enjoying what you've seen and you want to learn more about this tool, how it can and should be used to build consistency and manage risk, then definitely get signed up for the free live online class. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link down in the description box, or if you're watching at my site, there's an area right there on the webpage that you can click to get signed up. So like I said, if you've been enjoying, then definitely get signed up for the free live class. Next one, NVOS, and this one is having a very, very impressive last 30 minutes. In fact, you can see as I talk, this candle is attempting to get even bigger and bigger in the upwards direction. So good, solid final close it's looking like for the last 30 minutes, with the key level of resistance here right up there at the 39-cent mark. So again, one of those questions where market closes now in about 8 minutes. So question number one you want to ask yourself is, well, did the price actually close down below 39 cents? If it did, well, then 39 cents, still a key level of resistance. If it broke up through there, then the next question is, okay, well, how far above 39 cents did the price go? And the further up above, that just represents that much more of strength and momentum that the price has gained. So 39 cents going to be a very important level moving forward here. And then for those of you that like to play the pullbacks, again, we'll map out key area of support here if this price does decide to pull back, and that's right down there at 33.5 cents. So keep an eye on that. And then for you pattern players out there, got yourself a nice little bull flag pattern. So you can look at this any way you want, but at the end of the day, you got to think that all eyes are going to be on 39 cents if the price ultimately closes down below it. But if it does break above there, then that could just illustrate and just be the leading indicator of a whole new round of upside momentum to come. Next one, TLRY, and I love this one just because the level that I'm about to point out is not supposed to impress you. In fact, it sticks out very, very much so, like a sore thumb. And when you have these areas that you got to think a lot of people are watching, then as I've mentioned already, call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, call it whatever you want, it can produce some very dynamic movement. So you got to think that there is a whole bunch of people watching this area, which has, been a big thorn. I mean, the price has been up here several times, and the price has never been able to quite maintain any momentum. Even right here, the price actually broke above that level, but when it comes to maintaining the momentum, did not happen, and the price fell back below there. But again, as I speak, you can see the price is, knocking on the door. So that's going to be the big question is, can the price break up through this area? And if it does, Will that be the the event that just generates enough momentum to create even more momentum? And that's going to be an area that you got to think a lot of breakout players are watching. And because it's such a well-defined level, got to think that there's just that much more of a higher probability that it could lead to some self-fulfilling prophecies. So as far as I'm concerned with this one, that's what it's all about. That line right there, can it break up through there? We'll see what happens. Next one here, TSLA Tesla, monster move here. Talked about this one last week and how you had this big wedge pattern, but the price decided to say, you know what, I don't care about this anymore, and just gapped up above there and then had a very strong day. Now, granted, the last 30 minutes here as I speak, quite a bit of a pullback. We'll zoom in here a little bit. You can see that, this candle right there, big pullback big pullback occurring within that 30-minute session, though. But when you take a step back and look at the multiple 30-minute sessions, you can see that the price has still got plenty of wiggle room, still plenty much so in an overall movement here, with the current level now being at $266 from a pullback standpoint. So keep an eye on that. And then I'm also going to add in another area of support, just one that I'm curious about, and that's this trend line right here to keep an eye on. So there we go. And going to change that. Actually, make it a little bit, and then there we go. So keep that as another secondary area of support. And then as far as resistances are concerned, once again, very straightforward question. No need to overcomplicate the logic. Where did the party finally stop today for the bulls? And that was right up there at $275. So keep an eye on that. But anyway, look at it. Big, powerful move here for Tesla. Let's see if the momentum continues as the week plays out. Next one, AMZN, which has just been an absolute beast today. A very, very strong move. Last 30 minutes here is suggesting, a pullback could very well be on the horizon over the next couple of days. But again, pullback is not the same as a crash. It's not the same as a reversal. It's just a pullback, because no price can go straight up, as nice as that would be. So if the price does pull back, where are some of these potential levels where the price could make a move down to? First level right here at the 142 mark. And then next level after that, in case you're looking for a bit of a deeper pullback, right down there around the 140 mark. So keep an eye on that from the resistance side of things. In terms of areas of support, you can see here that the price has been doing a fantastic job of fighting upwards. I realize that it's a little bit harder to see, but that's just a good problem to have, because it shows that it's been a while since the price has been up this high. Next key area of resistance, which is essentially right where the price got rejected. If you look back here, you can see that this area has a track record of being a problem, and that is right where the price got rejected from today, which is essentially right up there around 143.75. So 143.75 rejected the price there, and then again, essentially rejected the price there. Is this some sort of double top? I suppose that remains to be seen, but as of now, you gotta err on the side of caution with that, because this thing really did establish quite a bit of momentum today. But yes, all eyes on 143.75 as that key area of resistance. Next one, TQQQ, which is an ETF that measures the NASDAQ. So if you believe the NASDAQ market is going to rise, this one will also rise. So it just allows you access at a much lower price point, which makes it a very popular ETF. So yeah, very good day on this one today, given that the NASDAQ had a good day. So first key level of resistance to watch here moving forward, going to be right here at this level of the $42 mark. Price is basically hovering right at that area right now. So that'll be the first big interesting question mark, is can the price bring up enough momentum and strength to not only break above that level, but then more importantly, stay above it, because that's where it's really struggling right now. Not necessarily breaking the $42 mark, but being able to maintain up above it. So keep an eye on that from that initial area of resistance. If the price can't push up through there, then the next key overarching area of resistance going to be right up there at that level of 42.85. In terms of levels of support, I don't think there's any need to overcomplicate this. If there is any sort of pullback, then watch that purple line there very closely. The 50-period moving average, you can see this morning, did an absolutely fantastic job of holding strong and providing support to the price. So if there is any sort of bigger pullback, then that'll be the first key level of support to watch. For more so an overarching level of support, continue to watch the older brother of the 50-period moving average, the 200-period moving average down there, that pink line there. But at least in my opinion, the most interesting dynamic right now is all about that $42 mark, and can the price build up enough momentum to get above that level and stay above it? We'll see what happens. So that wraps up the top 10 list. Again, if you like what you saw here and you want to learn more about this tool, how it can and should be used, then definitely get signed up for that free class later on this week. It'll be Thursday, September 14th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. So go get signed up for that. As far as these top 10 videos are concerned, if you enjoy these, you guys have been doing fantastic. Hit that like button, leave a comment below. Even if you just say hi, tell me what you're watching, tell me what you traded today. But hitting the like button, leaving a comment, help out the algorithm, help out the channel. And as long as I know that people are enjoying, then I'll continue to put out content like this and put in the required time and effort. So thank you again. You guys have been doing fantastic, but let's keep it up. It is getting these videos out there that much more. So again, hit that like button, leave a comment below. Thanks for watching. Take care, and go get signed up for that free class.